here we go. This is a big motherfucker right here. The BMW K1600, the ultimate fag bagger. Every time I get on a big old bagger with a windshield, the same thing happens. I get this weird thing where I want to look through the windshield, but it makes me like crouch over to look through it or try to raise up to be above it. It takes a minute to get used to. I'll tell you, for a big old fat pig, this thing feels pretty light on its feet. I also remember this is not my Multistrada, so... Which is weird because it feels like that. It feels light, and it's got the same seating position, so I have to be very careful that I don't immediately go and try and throw this into a turn or anything like I would do on the Multi, because as good as this is handling right now, something tells me it's not going to act the same way. So if you haven't seen the previous couple videos, you're wondering, what the hell is Shadetree Surgeon doing on the ultimate dad bike in Las Vegas right now? Well, I'm out here for the AIM Expo, and Sunday was kind of our free day. So we went and we hung out at the AIM Expo and partied into the wee hours of the morning, but I still managed to wake up real early. And since I'm a Florida boy, I'm going to take any chance I get to jump on a bike and head out and see the desert and the mountain. And I have actually really been wanting to try out a BMW K1600. I like these bikes. Jessica hates them. She says they look like big ass scooters, but I don't know, man. I got a thing for big ugly motorcycles. So I'm heading back to the hotel room right now to pick her up, and we're gonna go check out the Valley of Fire and the Hoover Dam. Do the tourist thing, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? It has reverse, but I don't trust reverse on a bike, so I'm gonna back it up the old-fashioned way. Do you feel cool getting on this bike? All right, Valley of Fire, here we come, man. Let's see some big old rocks. We're here picking up Deep South Moto, and we're about to roll out, man. Florida boy in the mountains. Well, valley, mountains. Can't have one without the other, right? So I'll tell you about this bike a little bit. I like the K1600B. I think that's a really sharp looking bike, even though Jessica thinks they look like scooters. My first impression right off the bat is just everything feels so soft compared to the Multistrada. And of course, that's what I'm comparing it to, because if I got one, that's the bike it would replace. And it's comfortable. It's already proven itself to be pretty fast, although nowhere near as fast as the Multi. I'm really liking it so far. I just feel disconnected from the bike. Everything feels slightly soft and mushy, like a big old reclining armchair, which I guess is kind of the point. So I've got this windshield all the way up right now, and I'm pretty surprised I'm actually still receiving a fair amount of buffeting. Not really anything pushing on me, but I can feel buffeting around me. Depending on who you ask, that's a good thing or a bad thing. Compared to the road glide I was riding around in California, you could have lit a cigarette at 100 miles an hour behind that windshield. You felt nothing. And so some people want that. They don't want to feel a goddamn thing. But I would say the difference is on this one, you still know you're on a motorcycle. You can feel the wind blowing around you. You can tell you're moving down the road. Whereas on that full dressed Electroglide, dude, it was still air in the cockpit of that motorcycle. It's always so weird to have mountains off in the distance. Not for you guys who live around them, but for me. Looks like a movie backdrop or something. It's just absolutely crazy. My brain cannot comprehend the fact that you can go there. Like what I'm looking at right there, like that's a thing I can go to. I mean, not on this bike, but my tiny Florida brain isn't used to all these long distances. I mean, our state's only like 150 miles wide, all right? That line in the sand, leaving Vegas and all the glitz, glamour, and lights, and right out here to the harsh desert, it's dramatic. I will tell you, it's dramatic. Doesn't seem possible that this tiny little oasis of sin exists out here in the desert. Like who thought of that? Who thought that was a good idea? Let's put this place right smack dab in the middle of the goddamn desert. Dude, I'm getting blown around on this motorcycle. I can't imagine what this dude's going through on this camper. It's got to be blowing it all over the road. That's one thing that always takes me by surprise when you get out here in these big open areas, is these huge gusts of wind out of nowhere will really take you by surprise if you're not prepared for it.
I thought I was getting my ass kicked, but I don't see you.
You can see me. I'm just like, holy fuck.
Just hold on to me.
There's nothing I want to.
Onto me. Hold on to these grab rails.
Like
Yeah,
so
grab the
tight,
bar.
it's not even funny. It's just
Just
like,
go, just do 75.
I can't even hold on to you. You're too far ahead of me.
Oh. Jessica officially doesn't like the BMW K1600 as a passenger anyway. All right, let me get on it like a fucking dipshit. What the hell is going on here? Okay. Oh, it'd help if I wasn't in 6th gear. There we go. That's more like it. I was like, what's this thing is fucking broken? So, for a passenger, here's the problem we're kind of running into on the K1600. It wants you to lean back because it has a backrest, but it doesn't have anything for you to keep you from moving side to side, which is something that you would kind of achieve by holding on to whoever's driving the motorcycle. But you can't do that because the seat puts you so far backwards that you can't do that. So Jessica's not having the best time back there. Poor Deep South back there. He's getting blown around on that FC8. This isn't exactly great naked bike territory. It's so alien, especially to me. I can't get over the fact that it just doesn't look like it should be allowed. These distances and these colors and just nothing green, just this vast brown beige expanse. Not that that's a bad thing, but it doesn't seem like it should be allowed. Like, how far away are those? Is that mountain right there? How far away is that? 5 miles, 10 miles, 100 miles? I just have no way of judging the distance. And how much farther is that one than that one? I can't tell. My brain doesn't work in these distances. I can't. Does not compute. Another oasis out here. This gas station is the only sign of life I've seen for miles. Just smack dab at that exit, and that's it, baby. If you need something, you better fucking get it there. And I feel a hankering for a monster, so we're gonna go ahead and stop. Of course, it's got a casino in it. That's funny. Casino, smoke shop, and fireworks, man. This is my kind of place. All right, I don't even know if any of this audio is going to come out. I got to stand like this because it is so freaking windy. Jessica's not having a great time. Deep South definitely isn't having a great time. This is not naked bike territory, man. How are you getting blown around out there? That's got to be brutal, dude.
It's a little bit leany.
They made me sign a waiver that promised I wouldn't go off-roading on the K1600. I think I'd probably have a pretty hard time of it, though. This is a big old boat. The guy who rented it to me also made a joke, or what I thought was a joke, and he goes, make sure you don't drive it into the Grand Canyon, okay? And then I responded by laughing, of course, and he goes, well, that's not actually a joke. Do you know how expensive it is to get a bike out of the Grand Canyon with a helicopter? About $32,000. So, of course, I go, holy shit, how the hell does a motorcycle end up in the Grand Canyon? Suicide is the answer. What a way to go out, man. Talk about going out with a bang, just launching a motorcycle into the goddamn Grand Canyon. Definitely a different kind of beauty out here. Everything's just so harsh. To know that people were living out here before modern conveniences, that Indian tribes and everything this was their home. This is where they lived and survived. It's crazy to me. It just seems so harsh and inhospitable. I can't imagine eking out a living in this kind of environment. And this would have been what it looked like, with the exception of our our paved road through it now. Like, it wouldn't have looked any different thousands of years ago. It would have looked just fucking like this. This BMW K really handles a whole lot better than that big old Harley Road Glide did. So I could really be, pretty spirited through these roads. I feel like this would handle them pretty well. But there's a few things on my mind why I'm kind of sticking to the speed limit. Number one is there's a lot of sand and dust out here, and I don't want to fly into a corner and lose this thing. Number two, I've been told that the cops out here take the speed limit pretty seriously through this park, and I don't want to go home with a ticket. I already paid my taxes in Las Vegas by throwing a couple dollars in the slot machine. I don't want to give them any more money. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Just absolutely peaceful. Gorgeous. Tatooine, that's what it looks like. Star Wars. Keep expecting the sand people to start taking pot shots at us from these hills. I think I'm gonna shut my yap for a while. This stuff is just too pretty to talk through, and I'm just gonna let this video play and let y'all enjoy the scenery with me. There ain't a lot that can keep my mouth shut, but a gorgeous place like this is definitely one of them. Oh my God. Wow. Breathtaking. And all of a sudden, an oasis.